All right, so we're going to come back to that feed when we come around again on Wednesday. And the reason we're doing this is because we think we'll not have enough time to run it all through, right? And that's because with an estimated 200 million people aged between 15 and 24, Africa is said to have the youngest population in the world. And yet, while some are taking their destinies into their own hands and shaking up and bringing down governments in countries like Sudan, others elsewhere have folded their arms and are saying, do what you want to do. And they allow rather their destinies to be dictated by the gerontocrats in power in this and that country across Africa. But then some think that if the young people across Africa are not to be considered in future as a continent's ticking time bomb, then something needs to be done to give them the tactics and the strategies to go about effecting change and implementing the change they all clamor for across the continent, and particularly in countries like Cameroon. King Afak Ernest is from the Africa Patriotic Youth Council movement. He's been crisscrossing Africa for several months now. He's been here once, he's here again. Welcome back home.
Thank you, Mr. Brian. I'm happy to be here again, and it will always be my pleasure to say things that have to do with the future of our youth.
You cannot measure the pleasure that's in there and in the hearts of Roland Lebja on the video mixer and Emmanuel behind the cameras. I mean,
yeah,
it's special when we have you, because we know we're going to have insights into what the young people across this place need to be able to move forward. Now tell us, are we getting it wrong?
No, it is not wrong, and the only wrong thing is that we are not doing anything to change the wrong.
Because we folded our arms and are sitting there and watching,
and things are happening. And especially we as African youths, we've allowed ourselves, because of frustration, and we allowed we use more of our useful time on minor issues. We spend our major time on minor issues, and you cannot expect the positive feedback you deserve. And looking at the African Patriotic Youth Council movement, we believe that the future of Africa can only be changed if this present generation of African youth get involved and get involved effectually. Meaning that last time when I was here, we were talking about the 27,000 African youth that have lost their life crossing the Mediterranean Sea. And we also have result that about 5 million as a result of these 5 years that they have been struggling to cross already in Europe. And you have to understand that this is the most useful population in Africa that are exiting. They are trying to leave Africa because of the regime in place, the system in place in Africa. Do not permit them see their future being established under this kind of regime. You have to imagine that for a young growing up person in a country to use 2 million, 3 million, 4 million to look for a way to travel abroad is a very frustrating kind of thought. He wanted to invest. I have a friend in Boya. Yesterday, when we were planning for the event, the African Patriotic Youth Council meeting that will be holding on Saturday in Boya. So a friend was sharing me that he has listened to us and he has listened to me speak, and he come to understand that it is very necessary for us to get involved in trying to provide the destiny, to secure our destinies that we are looking forward, because you cannot allow your destiny under someone's hand and you expect the result that you want.
Okay. Now, before the event this weekend in Boya,
yes,
what is the African Patriotic Youth Movement doing? What are you doing in terms of letting the young people across Cameroon, for example, stand up and work to see the change they want to live within?
Yes, with the African Patriotic Youth Council movement, our major objective is trying to unity and information, because one of those handicap aspect of our objective is lack of information. Most African youth today do not even they don't even follow information. Most of those information that are helpful for them, they don't follow. And at the end, you cannot you cannot grow without information. I always say that a man cannot operate beyond his mental ability, meaning that only what is in the memory that can be reproduced, or you can only think of what is in you. So for you to think of other things, you need to put those things in you.
Okay.
So our major objective is let you be informed, and our major objective, as I said, is mindset reformation. Okay. Trying to give you that mindset that will enable them to see that there is a reason for me to get involved. Because when you give me enough reasons why I think that I can make it after 5 years, even suffering under unacceptable circumstances, when those reasons are enough for me to see that future coming after the 5 years, you are done with your. I would then follow up.
What motivation can you propose to a Cameroonian young person who left the university about 6-7 years ago and still has no job as we speak? What they're going to search for is the easy way out of the place.
Yes, the easy way out of the place is good, but you have to also understand the consequences of not achieving, because you may think that traveling is an easy way out
or the tough way out of the place, right?
Yeah, it becomes the tough way rather. So you see that you have to also analyze the situation. What will happen? What is stopping me from getting to where I'm going? First, identify that. Is it possible it can be removed on my way? If it is possible, how can it be possible?
It could be possible through the voting process, right?
But the voting process in Cameroon is not about registered. I don't look at the registration, or to me, I don't see elections in Cameroon as a means of change, because a means of change is the good, genuine leadership system in place. Without a good, genuine leadership system in place, there cannot be any change. That is why we, as African Patriotic Council, we think that change cannot come with the present system we have in place. It's the same present system that has caused many to lose their life crossing the Mediterranean Sea and doing all these things. So for us to wait for change, it should not be on the same system that we know already. So it has failed.
Why are you proposing?
So we are looking at how we can depend on ourselves and build up a system that can enable us to move from where we are to where we intend to be. One of those measures is that we need to have job opportunities. Our youth are desperate for jobs.
Where do you get the jobs from?
How do we get the jobs? Now, like we said, we as youth, if we come together, there is nothing we cannot do. There are jobs everywhere. And most of these jobs are, most of our youth today, they are very industrious in their mind. But they lack on how to manage. If we come together, like we are talking about the $1 donation, like we are planning, this is the only sustainable way that we think that if you get involved to participate and donate your $1. In Cameroon, we have more than 15 million youth population in Cameroon. Just imagine 5 million donate their $1. We have $5 million, and this $5 million is able to create more than 500 jobs, 1,000 jobs in Cameroon, and those jobs will be sustainable, and it will always be advancing for the many years to come. These are opportunities, and these are thoughts that youth should be having.
Have the contributions begun already?
We are looking forward to launch in January. So we first want to give youth reasons why they think that they can do such. When they have enough reasons why they think they can do such, we will not be forcing them, because they will be seeing it as a means of getting to where they think they should be.
All right. I want to thank you, Ernest, for coming.
I'm so happy.
You see why I say it's such a pleasure every now and then when you come here, because when you speak, I get convinced, right? I just believe that the thousands and possibly millions of young Cameroonians out there who are watching and listening to you talk are getting convinced. When it's time, I'll give my dollar.
Not to forget the event in Boya on Saturday.
This weekend.
Yeah, all your Cameroonians youth, and we even have invitation. Our friends from Uganda and Nigeria, they are willing to be part of us, and we want to invite other Cameroonians, because we also use this event to put in place the APYCM leadership in Cameroon.
Okay, I'll be there, because I'm also looking for a post, right?
You can be there and act as our own advisor, you know.
Okay, thanks a lot. Let's listen
much
to some music. This is beautifully done for us at the Berkeley College of Music in the United States of America. Is one of our sisters. She's called Mufaro, and that song is titled "We Can Make a Change." Right? Catch you on Wednesday, inshallah.